Good morning and welcome to the channel. We are back at the cottage continuing on with this shower tiling that we started a couple days ago. We did the concrete board, the waterproof membrane, the shower tray, and yesterday I did the 2" by 2" mosaic tile, hexagon tile. So that's been able to dry. I can go ahead and begin the walls. You'll notice that I have put a few large format tiles already on there. And that's where we are now, ready to install this next row of tiles on this wall. So I just cut a piece of cardboard to fit the space, leaving it about 1 inch off the wall so I can tile down to the floor. And I won't tape it down or anything, I'll just leave it loose. Now, I can mix up some mortar. Okay, I got my mortar mixed up here. I'll get my trowel out. I'll be using a 1/2" by 1/2" notch trowel. And I'll be using 1/8" spacers. I'll also be using a self-leveling system just because they're large format tiles and the edge of them are quite square. So sometimes they can be difficult for those to be nice and flush. So the self-leveling clips help a little bit for sure. Alright, back at it. Make sure this fits again. It was last night when I did it, so. Ooh. So I'm ready for my first piece here. Then I just have to back butter the back of this tile. I just get my spacers like that. Make sure it's good. I like cleaning up as I go. Definitely helps in the long run. Okay, I'm gonna carry on here, put you on a time lapse, do this wall, and get back to you. So I've measured out for this shower pipe. I just have to cut it out with a hole saw, a diamond tipped hole saw. Hopefully this one is still good. It's quite old. Again, I'm actually not a tiler, so I don't have all the tools. There's my mark there. And I will probably just cut it right down here. I'm just building myself a little bit of a dam here to help cool off the bit, so I'll put some water in there. And that should help keep the bit cool because it was overheating. Wow, that's not a very square hole. Nice. I lost my gloves, in case you're concerned. Now that we've got that wall done, we're going to jump ahead to this bigger wall. And because the shower base is pre-sloped, all of these tiles on the bottom row will be cut slightly. It will probably be like a 1/4 inch taper or something like that. Alright, so I've set my laser to the top of this tile. So that will be the top of my tile that I run along the bottom row here, which means I can just take some measurements, cut them on a bit of a taper. All these bottom tiles are now installed and level where they need to be, so I can go ahead and continue up the rest of the wall. I'll put you on a time lapse and we can jump into this big wall. Okay, I've gone over to this last wall here. You can see that I got those 2 tiles on, notched it around the curb that will go there, and then I just put my trim piece loosely in, and I can push it tight once all the tiles are on. All I have to do is comb this. I just clean up that edge to put my clips in, which look like this. And they just slip behind the tile like that. Get some of my shims, 1/8 inch spacers. Okay, now I will carry on up the wall. Gotta mix up some more though. Got the last 2 tiles to put on. Make sure I put them the right way. Put my self-levelers on. I typically just use a spacer from the opposite wall there, oops, and go corner to corner, that way my grout lines match up. And then for this one I actually just twist like that, so when I put my other tile on I can just clip it onto both sides, so both tiles are using 1 spacer. And then for this one it goes around the window casing, so I notched it out. And this casing is actually treated with a high moisture resistant urethane, so it will be okay that it won't be in the shower, but it'll be close enough. It might see a few drips and splashes, but it won't interfere with it. So I just flip my horseshoe over that way. Grab some wedges. And then the last piece to the puzzle is just sliding this tile edging up in here, like that. That's it. I'll do a bit of a cleanup and then show you how it turned out. Alright, I just finished installing the last few pieces up there. As you saw, it turned out pretty good, as well as this bottom piece transitioning pretty nicely into the baseboard. So when I come back, I'll remove all the wedges, the spacers, and I'll silicone all the inside corners, the ceiling, and most importantly, the floor, where the wall meets the floor. And then once all that is done, I'll install a sill on top of here, and most likely there'll be a sliding glass door that sits on top of that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get up here in the next few weeks to finish grouting the silicone, but that will be the next video in this playlist, so stay tuned if you want to see the end result. That will do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.